Coins are pieces of hard material used primarily as a medium of exchange or legal tender. They are standardized in weight, and produced in large quantities at a mint in order to facilitate trade. They are most often issued by a government. Coins are usually metal or alloy, or sometimes made of synthetic materials. They are usually disc-shaped. Coins made of valuable metal are stored in large quantities as bullion coins. Other coins are used as money in everyday transactions, circulating alongside banknotes. These coins are usually worth less than banknotes. Usually the highest value coin in circulation is worth less than the lowest value note. In the last 100 years, the face value of circulation coins has occasionally been lower than the value of the metal they contain, for example due to inflation. If the difference becomes significant, the issuing authority may decide to withdraw these coins from circulation, or the general public may decide to melt the coins down or hoard them. Exceptions to the rule of face value being higher than content value also occur for some bullion coins made of silver or gold, intended for collectors or investors in precious metals. Examples of modern gold collector-investor coins include the British sovereign minted by the United Kingdom, the American gold eagle minted by the United States, the Canadian gold maple leaf minted by Canada, and the Krugerrand, minted by South Africa. While the eagle, maple leaf, and sovereign coins have nominal face values, the Krugerrand does not. Historically, a great quantity of coinage metals and other materials have been used to produce coins for circulation, collection, and metal investment. Bullion coins often serve as more convenient stores of assured metal quantity and purity than other bullion. Today, the term coin can also be used in reference to digital currencies which are not issued by a state. As of 2013, examples include Bitcoin and Litecoin, among others. As coins have long been used as money, in some languages the same word is used for coin and currency. History. The first coins were developed independently in Iron Age Anatolia and Archaic Greece, India and China around 600 to 700 BC. Coins spread rapidly in the 6th and 5th centuries BC, throughout Greece and Persia, and further to the Balkans. Standardized Roman currency was used throughout the Roman Empire. Important Roman gold and silver coins were continued into the Middle Ages. Ancient and early medieval coins in theory had the value of their metal content, although there have been many instances throughout history of the metal content of coins being debased, so that the inferior coins were worth less in metal than their face value. Fiat money first arose in medieval China, with the jiaozi paper money. Early paper money was introduced in Europe in the later Middle Ages, but some coins continued to have the value of the gold or silver they contained throughout the early modern period. The penny was minted as a silver coin until the 17th century. The first copper pennies were minted in the United States in the 1790s. Silver content was reduced in many coins in the 19th century, and the first coins made entirely of base metal, representing values higher than the value of their metal, were minted in the mid-19th century. Coins were an evolution of currency systems of the Late Bronze Age, where standard-sized ingots, and tokens such as knife money, were used to store and transfer value. In the late Chinese Bronze Age, standardized cast tokens were made, such as those discovered in a tomb near Anyang. These were replicas in bronze of earlier Chinese currency, cowrie shells, so they were named bronze shell. Iron Age. The earliest coins are mostly associated with Iron Age Anatolia, especially with the Kingdom of Lydia. Early electrum coins were not standardized in weight, and in their earliest stage may have been ritual objects, such as badges or medals, issued by priests. Many early Lydian and Greek coins were minted under the authority of private individuals and are thus more akin to tokens or badges than to modern coins, though due to their numbers it is evident that some were official state issues, with King Alyats of Lydia being a frequently mentioned originator of coinage. The first Lydian coins were made of electrum, a naturally occurring alloy of silver and gold that was further alloyed with added silver and copper. Most of the early Lydian coins include no writing, only an image of a symbolic animal. Therefore the dating of these coins relies primarily on archaeological evidence, with the most commonly cited evidence coming from excavations at the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, also called the Ephesian Artemision. Because the oldest lion head coins were discovered in that temple, and they do not appear to have been used in commerce, these objects may not have been coins but badges or medals issued by the priests of that temple. Anatolian Artemis was the II 1/2 Euro II 1/2 I to the first I plus or minus III paragraph I 1/2, whose symbol was the stag. A small percentage of early Lydian Greek coins have a legend. A famous early electrum coin, the most ancient inscribed coin at present known, is from nearby Caria. This coin has a Greek legend reading Phenos emisema, interpreted variously as I am the badge of Phanes, or I am the sign of light, or I am the tomb of light, or I am the tomb of Phanes. The coins of Phanes are known to be amongst the earliest of Greek coins. A hemihect of the issue was found in the foundation deposit of the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus. One assumption is that Phanes was a wealthy merchant, another that this coin is associated with Apollo Phanes and, due to the deer, with Artemis. Although only 7 Phanes-type coins were discovered, it is also notable that 20% of all early electrum coins also have the Lion of Artemis and the sunburst of Apollo Phanios. Alternatively, Phanes may have been the Halicarnassian mercenary of Amasis mentioned by Herodotus, who escaped to the court of Cambyses, and became his guide in the invasion of Egypt in 527 or 525 BC. According to Herodotus, this Phanes was buried alive by a sandstorm, together with 50,000 Persian soldiers, while trying to conquer the temple of Amunna-Zeus in Egypt. The fact that the Greek word Phanes also means light, and the word Sema also means tomb makes this coin a famous and controversial one. Another candidate for the site of the earliest coins is Aegina, where Chelone coins were first minted on 700 BC either by the local Aegina people or by Theoden, king of Argos. In the Bibliothèque Nationale, Paris, there is a unique electrum stata of Aegina. Coins from Athens and Corinth appeared shortly thereafter, known to exist at least since the late 6th century BC. Classical antiquity. Coinage followed Greek colonization and influence first around the Mediterranean and soon after to North Africa, Syria, Persia, and the Balkans. Coins were minted in the Achaemenid Empire, including the gold darics and silver sigloi. With the Achaemenid conquest of Gandhara under Darius the Great circa 520 BC, the practice spread to the Indo-Gangetic plain. The coins of this period were called puranas, karshapanas or pana. These earliest Indian coins, however, are unlike those circulated in Persia, which were derived from the Greek Anatolian type. They are not disc-shaped but rather stamped bars of metal, suggesting that the innovation of stamped currency was added to a pre-existing form of token currency which had already been present in the Mahajanapada kingdoms of the Indian Iron Age. Mahajanapadas that minted their own coins included Gandhara, Kuntala, Kuru, Panchala, Shakya, Shurisna and Surashtra. In China, early round coins appear in the 4th century BC. The first Roman coins, which were crude, heavy cast bronzes, were issued circa 289 BC. Middle Ages. The first European coin to use Arabic numerals to date the year in which the coin was minted was the St. Gall silver plat part of 1424. Value. As currency. Most coins presently are made of a base metal, and their value comes from their status as fiat money. This means that the value of the coin is decreed by government fiat, and thus is determined by the free market only inasmuch as national currencies are used in domestic trade and also traded internationally on foreign exchange markets. Thus these coins are monetary tokens, just as paper currency is. They are usually not backed by metal, but rather by some form of government guarantee. Some have suggested that such coins not be considered to be true coins. Thus there is very little economic difference between notes and coins of equivalent face value. Coins may be in circulation with fiat values lower than the value of their component metals, but they are never initially issued with such value, and the shortfall only arises over time due to inflation, as market values for the metal overtake the fiat-declared face value of the coin. Examples are the pre-1965 US dime, quarter, half dollar, and dollar, US nickel, and pre-1982 US penny. As a result of the increase in the value of copper, the United States greatly reduced the amount of copper in each penny. Since mid-1982, United States pennies are made of 97.5% zinc, with the remaining 2.5% being a coating of copper. Extreme differences between fiat values and metal values of coins causes coins to be hoarded or removed from circulation by illicit smelters in order to realize the value of their metal content. This is an example of Gresham's law. The United States Mint, in an attempt to avoid this, implemented new interim rules on December 14, 2006, subject to public comment for 30 days, which criminalized the melting and export of pennies and nickels. Violators can be fined up to $10,000 and/or imprisoned for up to 5 years. As a collector's item. A coin's value as a collector's item or as an investment generally depends on its condition, specific historical significance, rarity, quality, beauty of the design and general popularity with collectors. If a coin is greatly lacking in all of these, it is unlikely to be worth much. The value of bullion coins is also influenced to some extent by those factors, but is largely based on the value of their gold, silver, or platinum content. Sometimes non-monetized bullion coins such as the Canadian maple leaf and the American gold eagle are minted with nominal face values less than the value of the metal in them, but as such coins are never intended for circulation, these face values have no relevance. As a medium of expression, coins can be used as creative medium of expression from fine art sculpture to the penny machines that can be found in most amusement parks. In the Code of Federal Regulations in the United States there are some regulations specific to nickels and pennies that are informative on this topic. 31 CFR a millisecond 82.1 forbids unauthorized persons from exporting, melting, or treating any 5 or 1 cent coins. This has been a particular problem with nickels and dimes because of their relatively low face value and unstable commodity prices. For a while the copper in U.S. pennies was worth more than 1 cent, so people would hoard pennies then melt them down for their metal value. It costs more than face value to manufacture pennies or nickels, so any widespread loss of the coins in circulation could be expensive for the Treasury. This was more of a problem when coins were still made of precious metals like silver and gold, so historically strict laws against alteration make more sense. 31 CFR a millisecond 82.2 goes on to state that, b. The prohibition contained in a millisecond 82.1 against the treatment of 5-cent coins and 1-cent coins shall not apply to the treatment of these coins for educational, amusement, novelty, jewelry, and similar purposes as long as the volumes treated and the nature of the treatment makes it clear that such treatment is not intended as a means by which to profit solely from the value of the metal content of the coins. Coin debasement. Throughout history, monarchs and governments have often created more coinage than their supply of precious metals would allow if the coins were pure metal. By replacing some fraction of a coin's precious metal content with a base metal, the intrinsic value of each individual coin was reduced, allowing the coining authority to produce more coins than would otherwise be possible. Debasement occasionally occurs in order to make the coin harder and therefore less likely to be worn down as quickly, but the more usual reason is to profit from the difference between face value and metal value. Debasement of money almost always leads to price inflation. Sometimes price controls are at the same time also instituted by the governing authority, but historically these have generally proved unworkable. The United States is unusual in that it has only slightly modified its coinage system to accommodate 2 centuries of inflation. The 1-cent coin has changed little since 1856 and still remains in circulation, despite a greatly reduced purchasing power. On the other end of the spectrum, the largest coin in common circulation is 25 cents, a very low value for the largest denomination coin compared to many other countries. Recent increases in the prices of copper, nickel, and zinc mean that both the US 1 and 5-cent coins are now worth more for their raw metal content than their face value. In particular, copper 1-cent pieces now contain about 2 cents worth of copper. Some denominations of circulating coins that were formerly minted in the United States are no longer made. These include coins with a face value of a half cent, 2 cents, 3 cents, and 20 cents. The United States also used to coin the following denominations for circulation in gold: $1, $2.50, $3, $5, $10, and $20. In addition, cents were originally slightly larger than the modern quarter and weighed nearly half an ounce, while 5-cent coins were smaller than a diamond made of a silver alloy. Dollars were also much larger and weighed approximately an ounce. $1 gold coins are no longer produced and rarely used. The U.S. also has bullion and commemorative coins with the following denominations: 50 cent, $1, $5, $10, $25, $50, and $100. Other uses: some convicted criminals from the British Isles who were sentenced to transportation to Australia in the 18th and 19th centuries used coins to leave messages of remembrance to loved ones left behind in Britain. The coins were defaced, smoothed and inscribed either by stippling or engraving, with sometimes touching words of loss. These coins were called convict love tokens, or legend hearts. A number of these tokens are in the collection of the National Museum of Australia. Features of modern coins. Circulating coins commonly suffered from shaving, or clipping. The public would cut off small amounts of precious metal from their edges to form new coins. Unmilled British sterling silver coins were sometimes reduced to almost half their minted weight. This form of debasement in Tudor England was commented on by Sir Thomas Gresham, whose name was later attached to Gresham's law. The monarch would have to periodically recall circulating coins, paying only the bullion value of the silver, and reminting them. This, also known as recoinage, is a long and difficult process that was done only occasionally. Many coins have milled or reeded edges, originally designed to make it easier to detect clipping. The side of a coin carrying an image of a monarch or other authority, or a national emblem, is usually called the obverse, or colloquially, heads. See also List of people on coins. The other side, which may carry the denomination, is usually called the reverse, or colloquially, tails. The year of minting is usually shown on the obverse, although some Chinese coins, most Canadian coins, the pre-2008 British 20p coin, and all Japanese coins, are exceptions. In cases where a correctly oriented coin is flipped about its horizontal axis to show the other side correctly oriented, the coin is said to have coin orientation. In cases where a coin is flipped about its vertical axis to show the other side correctly oriented, it is said to have medallic orientation. While coins of the United States dollar display coin orientation, those of the euro and pound sterling have medallic orientation. Bimetallic coins are sometimes used for higher values and for commemorative purposes. In the 1990s, France used a trimetallic coin. Common circulating bimetallic examples include the A1, A2, British £2 and Canadian $2. The exerg is the space on a coin beneath the main design, often used to show the coin's date, although it is sometimes left blank or containing a mint mark, privy mark, or some other decorative or informative design feature. Many coins do not have an exerg at all, especially those with few or no legends, such as the Victorian bun penny. Not all coins are round. The Australian 50-cent coin, for example, has 12 flat sides. Some coins have wavy edges, for example the $2.20 coins of Hong Kong and the 10-cent coins of Bahamas. Some are square-shaped, such as the 15-cent coin of the Bahamas. During the 1970s, Swazi coins were minted in several shapes, including squares, polygons, and wavy-edged circles with 8 and 12 waves. Some other coins, like the British 20 and 50 pence coins and the Canadian loonie, have an odd number of sides, with the edges rounded off. This way the coin has a constant diameter, recognizable by vending machines whichever direction it is inserted. A triangular coin with a face value of £5 was commissioned by the Isle of Man. It became legal tender on December 6, 2007. Other triangular coins issued earlier include, Cabinda coin, Bermuda coin, $2 Cook Islands 1992 triangular coin, Uganda Millennium coin and Polish sterling silver 10 zloty coin. Guitar-shaped coins were once issued in Somalia. Poland once issued a fan-shaped 10 zloty coin, and the 2002 $10 coin from Nauru was Europe-shaped. Some medieval coins, called bracciates, were so thin they were struck on only one side. The Royal Canadian Mint is now able to produce holographic effect gold and silver coinage. However, this procedure is not limited to only bullion or commemorative coinage. The 500 yen coin from Japan was subject to a massive amount of counterfeiting. The Japanese government in response produced a circulatory coin with a holographic image. The Royal Canadian Mint has also released several coins that are colored, the first of which was in commemoration of Remembrance Day. The subject was a colored poppy on the reverse of a 25-cent piece. For a list of many pure metallic elements and their alloys which have been used in actual circulation coins and for trial experiments, see coinage metals. Physics, flipping. Coins are popularly used as a sort of two-sided die. In order to choose between two options with a random possibility, one choice will be labeled heads and the other tails, and a coin will be flipped or tossed to see whether the heads or tails side comes up on top. See coin flipping. Mathematically, this is known as a Bernoulli trial. A fair coin is defined to have the probability of heads of exactly 0.5. Spinning. Coins can also be spun on a flat surface such as a table. This results in the following phenomenon: as the coin falls over and rolls on its edge, it spins faster and faster before coming to an abrupt stop. This is mathematically modeled as a finite times singularity. The precession rate is accelerating to infinity, before it suddenly stops, and has been studied using high-speed photography and devices such as Euler's disk. The slowing down is predominantly caused by rolling friction, and the singularity can be modeled as a power law with exponent approximately a 1/3. Chemistry. The odor of coins. Iron coins have a characteristic metallic smell that is produced upon contact with oils in the skin. Perspiration is chemically reduced upon contact with iron, which causes the skin oils to decompose, forming the volatile molecule 1-octen-21. See also. Notes and references. Bibliography, Angus, Ian. Coins and Money Tokens. London, Ward Lock, 1973. ISBN 0-7063-1811-0. External links, media related to coins at Wikimedia Commons.